Welcome to my interview, Caleb. Thank you so much for coming on my interview.
Thank you for having me, Leo. I'm excited to be here.
Let's go. Yeah, so
Yes,
according to my background research, you are located in Japan, right?
that is correct.
Yeah.
I've been here for about almost 10 years.
Oh, holy shit. Can you say which city are you in?
I'm in Osaka.
Oh, wow. Look at
Yeah.
his pronunciation, guys.
Yes, sir.
Let's go. Yeah, so I learned from your previous video that you speak fluent Japanese. That's what you said. Yeah, so
Yeah,
can you
yeah.
can you say something in Japanese to the listeners?
Yeah, of course. 皆さんおはようございます。本日はちょっとあんまり寝れてないので、まあ喋るのが遅かったりとか、集中力がなかったりとかするので、それにもかかわらずよろしくお願いします。So yeah, I
Oh,
basically said, "Hello, everybody. I didn't get much sleep today, so I might be a little tired and talk a little slow, but I still hope we can have a good time."
oh, nice. I only understood the first and last sentence.
Really, yeah. It's the basics in Japanese.
Can I ask you how old you are?
Yeah, so I'm 28.
Oh, nice. So I guess you got married early.
Uh, Depending on who you ask, I got married in 2021, about 4 years ago, so I was 24. Yeah.
Nice, nice. Can I ask you how tall are you? If you don't mind, you can also share how much do you weigh.
So I'm 6 feet tall, and the last time I weighed myself, let me actually, can I look at my data? Because
Yeah, for sure.
I don't want to be inaccurate. Okay, sorry, 75.
Okay,
Uh,
nice.
and if you're curious, the heaviest I've been was 85 kg, just
Okay.
about. So I'm down 10 kg.
Mm, you have been in Japan for 10 years. Can I ask you how did you learn Japanese?
Yeah, so I originally started learning when I was in high school, but not too seriously. I only learned like hiragana and katakana and a few basic kanji, and then I just stopped. But I started again when I went to university. I was taking classes for the first and second semester, and then I moved to Japan when I was 19 as a study abroad student, and I was learning Japanese at the Japanese university, and of course, talking to Japanese locals, making Japanese friends. And at the time, my girlfriend, who is now my wife, she's from Osaka, and so she and I would speak Japanese every day. Not only that, but I had a few jobs here in Japan that are Japanese. My current job is also in Japanese, so I just been speaking it for about 10 years now. And I also like studying. I love studying. I'm a big nerd. So I use like a lot of textbooks. I watch a lot of anime. That helps a lot, even though it's not like practical Japanese. It's still Japanese. But yeah, I read a lot of books in Japanese, a lot of manga in Japanese. My computer, iPhone, PlayStation, everything that I can set in Japanese is in Japanese. So just completely surrounding myself with Japanese and integrating it into my life. That's how I learned basically.
Nice. Have you heard of a guy called Matt versus Japan?
I don't think so.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, so basically he's like a Japanese learner from the
Mhm.
States, and
Mm.
he's just famous for being good at Japanese. And he
Okay.
teaches people how to learn Japanese. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I've seen him on like
Oh.
a Instagram
Mm.
reel or something, but I just don't really know his name or something.
So was your wife your classmate or something?
No, she was in the same club that I was in at university. So we had like the Japanese American Student Association, which I got invited to by like one of the Japanese foreign exchange students. And she wasn't there the first semester, but she came along the second semester when she was studying abroad. So yeah, that's how I met her.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, I suppose because you are pretty tall and you're a black guy in Japan and you can speak good Japanese, do you feel like many people find you attractive?
Uh, I've been told that they think I'm attractive when I'm looking good on a good day, but like literally the whole time that I've been in Japan, I've always had like a girlfriend or a wife. Like, I've been with the same woman for almost 10 years. So we started dating in the USA, and then I studied abroad at her university. And so the whole time I've been in Japan, I've always been with my wife. So I never really had, I don't want to say a chance, but I never really had those types of experiences. But people do say that, like kakkoi, which means like, oh, you're really cool, really handsome. I'm sure you've heard it a lot in like anime, like kakke, they say stuff like that. So I assume, but there's also racism here in Japan.
Oh, oh,
So maybe some people wouldn't think I'm attractive just because I'm black. But I will say this, the racism isn't as bad as people think. The Japanese people, at least here in Osaka, are really, really friendly and really, really kind.
okay. When you say racism, do you mean they just kind of treat you differently, or you mean they are like disrespectful?
uh, a little bit of both.
Oh,
One, Japanese people, and I don't want to generalize because they're not all the same, but you often see that they treat you different because you're a foreigner. So they'll try to speak like English to you, use chopsticks, and they'll be like, "Oh, sugoi," and it's like, I've been here for like almost 10 years, eating almost 3 meals a day. That's 3 times a day I practice. Of course, like you got elementary school students using chopsticks. I'm a grown man. I'm 28. I've been here for 10 years. Of course, I can use chopsticks, but they're just not used to seeing that. So you get like a lot of those reactions. The other day, when I went out with my wife and my son, there was a woman. She was giving me like a really mean stare, and then I acknowledged her, and she just got super angry and started like just giving a whole speech about black people this, black people that. And I really couldn't make out what she was saying because she was like standing a little far away and she had a mask on. But I could hear like kokujin, kokujin, dore, like black slave, this and that. And I was like, "Can you just leave us alone, please? Like, I'm here with my wife. She's pregnant. I have a 1-year-old son. We're just looking at toys. Leave us alone." But she wouldn't leave us alone. And so a Japanese bystander alerted the store clerks, and they looked for her and tried to kick her out, and they apologized so much to me. I'm like, you don't have to apologize to me. Like, you didn't you didn't say anything rude to me. So yeah, there's both. There's like prejudice. They don't think I can use chopsticks, and then very, very rarely there's like blatant racism.
wow. Okay. Thank you for sharing that.
No problem.
I want to know where you are originally from.
Yeah, so I'm from the United States, on the East Coast, a state called Virginia, and I spent a little bit of time in Washington D.C. when I was a kid, but mostly in Virginia.
Oh, okay. Nice. So if I want you to give some tips to your past self who just started to learn Japanese, what would you tell him?
Dang, you know what? That's a good question. I've never been asked such a good question. I would say, I mean, just keep doing what you're doing, Because I think that's my only talent is learning languages. I learned French when I was in high school. I don't remember any. And I learned a little bit of Spanish in university. I don't remember any Spanish either. But like, I would just naturally get good grades, and I was always interested. So If I had to give myself a little piece of advice, I would say just study the textbooks a little bit more, you know, because maybe I would have passed the. Have you heard of the Japanese language placement test?
This is not like N1, N2, something like that.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, so with N1 being the most advanced and N5 being the most beginner level, I took the N2 when I was like 20 years old, my first year here in Japan, and I failed it by 4 points. So that would have been nice to pass it back then. So if I had to
Mm,
give myself some advice, it would be like, just study a little, just a little bit more.
mm,
Yeah.
nice. Okay, let me talk about some carnivore related topics.
Nice.
Yeah. For those that are listening, this interview is actually more related to carnivore.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, so I came across your video a while ago, and you were talking about how you felt after 30 day on carnivore. So I guess
Hmm.
you only started doing this diet pretty recently.
Yeah, so I started, I think, in early September. I'm on day 46 of the carnivore
Oh,
diet.
nice,
Yeah.
awesome. Can you talk about why did you want to eat this stupid diet?
Yes, I can. Uh, just to be healthier overall, it made the most sense. And to give you some more background information, when I first came to Japan, I don't know what it was, but my mental clarity just like dropped, like really, really bad. So bad that I never got officially diagnosed, but I think I had something called like depersonalization slash derealization. And that's basically when your brain fog gets so bad that you literally don't feel like a real person. It feels like you're in a video game or something. So everything that I looked at, it looked like I was looking at life from behind a screen, from behind like some glass. And it would get so bad to the point where I would go in the bathroom and just look in the mirror and just like touch my face for like 30 minutes to try to connect my brain back to my body. Because when it gets that bad, when the brain fog gets that bad, you really don't feel like a real person anymore. You don't feel like you're in reality. That's why it's called depersonalization and derealization, because it doesn't feel real anymore. And so that was something that I dealt with for like 2 years. And like many people, I was watching the Joe Rogan podcast and I saw Jordan B. Peterson talk about his diet. And one of the things that he said was mental clarity. And dealing with like depersonalization for years, I'm like, I need that mental clarity. But back then I didn't have a lot of money, so I couldn't really start it. So the reason that I started it recently is because my wife, she'll be giving birth to our second son next week, and I need a lot of energy to raise two boys. And I also want to set a good example for my sons of a healthy man. So those are the main reasons why I started it.
Oh, when did you come across that podcast? Sounds
Yeah,
like
that
a
was
long
back
time
in
ago.
it was a long time ago. It was back
Oh,
in 2019, so almost 6 years ago.
okay.
But yeah, financially, and my living situation wasn't really that good, so I couldn't really start it
Wow,
like I wanted
interesting.
to. Yeah,
So basically, you were already on board with this kind of lifestyle back in 2019.
yeah, exactly. It just made the
What
most
convinced you?
sense.
Most people
So
won't agree.
yeah, most people won't agree. Uh, it's just so logical, in my opinion. You know, it really is. Like I I work in IT and I study computer science, and that's all based on logic. Computers only move based on logic, and I think that's a really good way to look at your life as well. Logic. And now that I'm on carnivore, I can't believe that I ever looked at a piece of spinach or like kale and thought that this would be enough nutrients for me to survive. To survive. Like one thing that really threw me for a loop is I have a friend who doesn't eat very much meat, and he's very low in like iron. And his doctor said you'll have to eat like 10 kg of iron of like spinach to get your iron daily. And I'm like, just eat a steak, man. Like you'll be fine. So just seeing how much nutrients is in meat and how little nutrients is actually in plants. Not only that, but like something that made it make sense for me is the fact that, plants, they don't move. So the way that they defend themselves is with the defense chemicals that they produce. And animals, they don't use any of that because they can either fly away or, kill prey, or, they can protect themselves with their strength. So they don't have like all those toxins in their body. And especially when it comes to like ruminant animals like cows and sheep, they have multiple chambers in their stomachs. So whatever they eat gets processed very cleanly. And that's what makes their meat so clean that we can eat it rare. So just thinking about stuff like that, I'm like, you know what? This makes a lot of sense. And I'm like, 30 days, it's nothing. Like, I can try it. But like I said, my living situation wasn't that good. But I kept seeing testimonies about people just getting better and better and better. And nobody was like asking for money. Like, take my course. You'll become the master carnivore. I didn't see anybody that was like trying to scam me in the carnivore community. I just saw a lot of people who genuinely wanted to be healthier, genuinely wanted to perform optimally, and or help their family members perform optimally, who have been sick. So yeah, that's how I got on board, man.
Nice point. So I'm curious, were you already trying to eat more meat and less vegetables prior to you officially started your carnivore diet?
I would say no. I would just eat whatever I wanted at the moment.
But
Whatever I was craving.
but you
Whether it be
didn't
like,
feel like you should eat more meat and less vegetables because you said you were already on board at 2019.
yeah. Well, that cognitive dissonance where something is
Oh.
true, but you just ignore it.
Mm.
I'm like, well, even though I know that plants have all these defense chemicals and aren't very nutritious, you know, I still like salads. They don't taste bad, I still, I still like spinach, all that stuff. So I
Yeah.
would just eat it out of habit, eating it for
Mm.
most of my life. So it felt easy to just turn off the switch and just ignore it.
Mm.
Yeah.
Would you say after you listened to the Joe Rogan podcast, you were already like almost convinced, or something else also convinced you?
I was pretty much convinced,
Oh,
to be
really?
honest, because I
Only
had
takes
been
one
following,
episode.
yes, for me personally, because I had been following Jordan B. Peterson for a while. And so I already had some trust built up
Um.
toward the stuff that he would say. And plus, he was very, very humble about the whole thing. He said,
Mm,
listen,
mm, mm, mm.
I didn't study nutrition. I'm a psychologist, and I'm not recommending this diet to anybody. I'm just letting you know what the diet did for my daughter and what the diet did for me. And so the way he presented it seemed very genuine. And looking more into it, that's where I saw the logic. So I was pretty convinced. I'm like, you know what? That might make sense. Yeah.
Nice, nice. Yeah, I think you made some good points as far as how to convince someone to believe something,
Mm-hmm.
like being genuine, stuff like that.
Exactly. And I noticed that a lot of people in this community are very genuine people.
Nice, awesome. Can you kind of talk about what were you eating growing up?
Yeah, man. So I'm from the South. Virginia is considered the South in America. So I would eat like a lot of chicken, of course. I know a lot of people are going to laugh because, a black guy eating chicken, haha, like fulfilling the stereotype. But I would eat a lot of chicken. A lot of rice. Um, I wouldn't say I ate a lot of fast food growing up because my mom, she would always cook, but every Friday she would just take me out to get whatever I wanted. So, maybe on the weekends, McDonald's, Chick-fil-A, fast food and all that stuff. But when I became a high schooler, I started exercising, jogging a lot. And so I wanted to eat a little bit cleaner. So I stopped drinking soda in middle school because I just lost interest in soda. It didn't taste good anymore. And then I started eating a lot less fast food and just like buying, uh, some fruits and vegetables and meat from the supermarket and making it myself, eating a lot of oatmeal. So, I was trying to get that whole balanced diet thing that they were doing when I was in high school. Fruits, vegetables, oats, meat, the whole 9 yards. But when you're young like that, your body's very, very resilient. So I didn't really feel any difference even when I started eating healthier. you know, I was just pooping more, which I'm not convinced that's a good thing that I was pooping more, So yeah, when I was like up until elementary school, late middle school, pretty standard American diet. And then and from high school to college, I tried to eat healthy. But then when I just came to Japan, I just started eating whatever Japanese people ate. Yeah.
Okay. Did people tell you you shouldn't eat too much meat and you should eat a lot of vegetables, stuff like that?
Yeah, vegetables are a really big thing here in Japan. A lot of parents worry about how little vegetables their children eat. And I'd never worry about my son eating vegetables
Nice.
and not.
Wow, blessed son.
Yeah. Exactly. And my friend, the same friend who was told to eat like, what, 10 kg of spinach to get his daily iron, he told me, like, red meat causes cancer. That the thing that everybody says about red meat that is not really backed up by any study. And even if it is backed up by a study, I'm not really convinced that that study was properly executed. So yeah, I have been told not too much, but I have been told that, vegetables are the way and you should stay away from red meat because it causes cancer and other diseases.
Yeah. What about when you were growing up?
Yeah, when I was growing up, I wouldn't say that anybody explicitly told me that vegetables were better and that
Oh.
meat was bad for you. But, living in America, you see signs that that's what everybody believes because
Mhm.
people will try to have like way more rice and vegetables and like this little chunk of meat for their
Mm.
meals. They say like, oh, like a palm sized
Mm. Mm.
chunk of meat once a day is the healthy amount, and so nobody told me explicitly. It's just that I was
Mm.
already like, brainwashed
Mm. Mm.
to believe that meat was bad for me, you know?
I see. Nice. Did you like vegetables growing up?
To be honest, I didn't really think too much of them. I didn't hate them and I didn't like them. There was very rarely a time that I would crave a vegetable.
Oh.
I would much rather eat. I loved steak when I was a kid. I loved pasta when I was a kid, chicken, stuff like that. So I wouldn't say I really craved vegetables. And I think that's just human instinct to not, crave vegetables. So, yeah,
Do you think your son has eaten vegetables before?
he has.
Oh.
Yeah, so he had.
And
But I
did he like
never.
it at all?
He really likes it, actually.
Oh.
But I think the only reason he likes it is because the way that my wife makes it, like
Um.
she includes tuna in the vegetables and she seasons it. So I'm not convinced that he likes the vegetables. I'm convinced that he likes the seasoning and the tuna inside of it. But he does he does like tomatoes. I can
Oh,
say that for sure.
wow.
He loves tomatoes. Yeah,
Okay,
so
that's interesting.
yeah, and we'll talk about that later.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on tomatoes? Do you think it's healthy?
Yeah. No, not really.
Okay. So
Um
do you think it's healthy
and
for your son, given that he likes it?
I wouldn't say it's healthy.
Mm,
And the reason I wouldn't say it's healthy is because one, I haven't really studied nutrition. I'm not a nutritionist. And even if I was, I don't think nutritionists are the most trusted people because of how societies around the world are eating today.
mm,
But I really don't know what's in tomatoes. I know that they're classified as like nightshades, but I don't really know what that means. Um, it's just I do know based on my experience and based on logic that meat is way better. So I can't really confidently say that tomatoes are healthy. You
mm,
know,
mm, 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 mm.
if I had to say it, I would say they're not healthy. You know,
Okay.
just based
Yeah,
on logic. Yeah.
sure, sure. Mm. I suppose your wife would want to feed your kid vegetables. Is that the case for you?
Yeah, man. Like I said, Japanese society, they push vegetables, and they think that it's really healthy here to eat vegetables. Um, but I'm not convinced,
Hmm.
so, based on the way that I live.
So how do you
And
guys approach this?
um, I just the best evidence is seeing. So seeing is believing, and so I can give my wife all my logic on why we should be eating way more meat than anything else. But I knew that the way that I have to convince my wife is that I just have to do it and show her that this works. So, she saw me lose all this weight. She saw me like get up early in the morning and exercise and be full of energy. And so she's slowly coming around on how she feels about the carnivore diet. But she was never against it. She was never against
Mm,
it. She always supported me. She really respects me. She's always really supportive. And so when I told her, I'm like, hey, I'm just gonna eat meat. She's like, okay. I
oh,
trust you that you're doing the right thing for your health. It's just that she didn't want to do it for herself, and she was still a little skeptical. So
yeah,
right
I see.
now, where she's at the point where she's starting to see that this actually works. He's
Mm,
losing weight. He's looking a little
mm,
better. He has a little bit more energy, in a better mood, doing really well at work. So that's where we are.
nice, nice. Your reverse brainwashing is working.
Exactly.
Nice, awesome. So I want to go back to your carnivore journey. So you mentioned that you had some brain fog issues. Did you
Mhm.
try to see a doctor for that?
Um, no. And the reason why is because I just really didn't trust any doctor to diagnose me. And yeah, man, that's a whole nother thing.
Mm,
Like, trusting doctors and finding the right therapist and stuff like that. My father, he was a therapist, and I was gonna go to the clinic that he was working at before he died, but the reviews were so terrible, and I'm like, all right, I'm not sure I want to go to this clinic, and I'm like, I don't know where to go, so I just tried to, sleep more, drink more water, exercise more to see if I could just overcome it. So no, I didn't see a doctor about it, but I had
mm.
all the symptoms. I was living it every day.
Oh, okay. Well, so I guess you were like aware that you weren't operating that optimally, but for whatever reason, you still didn't actually go carnivore until recently.
Yeah,
Oh,
and the reason why is because I don't know if I got used to it.
oh,
I think two things happened. I think I got used to living with it, and then I overcame it just a little bit. I
mm,
still feel brain fog from now and then, but it's not like I question if I'm real or not. You know, I'm not
Mm,
looking in the mirror and touching my face anymore. You know, it doesn't pop up in my head anymore. So yeah, I think
I
it
see.
got better over time. Which
Nice,
some
nice.
people it does get better over time. Some people live with it for like 10 years before it gets
Mm,
better.
okay.
You know, so
So can you start talking about what kind of improvements did you see after you went carnivore?
yeah. So as I mentioned in the video that you saw, the bloating went away within a few days. You know, I felt a lot less bloated because I would always feel bloated. I would always be gassy. You know, and that's just uncomfortable to feel like that every day, especially when you're sitting down. To feel bloated is the worst. So that felt great. You know, another thing that I didn't mention in my video is like dental hygiene. Like I don't really grow a lot of plaque on my teeth a lot on the carnivore diet. You know, even if I brush my teeth every morning and every night, there would always be some plaque somewhere because, you know, eating carbohydrates and sugar, the plaque loves that. It uses that to grow. And so, and another thing, I had like some gingivitis around the back molar. And so there was like a big pocket in between my gum and my tooth. And that's closing. Like
Oh,
it's closing. And it's closing really, really fast. So that's a really good improvement that I've seen. Another thing that I mentioned in my video is that it's really easy to get up in the morning, early in the morning. I haven't been doing that recently because I went a little bit too hard exercising every day because I had so much energy, and I have a really tight muscle that I'm waiting. I'm waiting for it to heal. So I haven't gotten up early to exercise in a while. But if I want to, I can, and I can
mm,
do it pretty easily. You know, I feel the most energetic in the morning. So those are the main, and you know, losing all this weight is also a really good benefit. Like I said, my heaviest I was 85 kg, and now I'm 75. Right before I started the diet, I was around 80 kg.
mm,
So yeah, I lost 5 kg. For my Americans, that's around 10 pounds that I've lost. Yeah. So those are wonderful benefits, man. And you know, I just feel better. My focus is really really good. Like I said, my boss, he just had to ask me one day, like, "What are you doing?"
wow.
Because he said it's like you're a completely different person.
What?
You know, because he said your numbers. Like I said, I work in IT, technical support here in Japan, and you know you get customer satisfactory scores,
Oh,
and like my customer satisfactory scores just skyrocketed. My productivity just skyrocketed. You know, everything. Work just got way more productive on the carnivore diet. And he said, "What are you doing, man?" And I just told him, like, you know, I just stopped eating carbs. Is what I told him. And my boss, he's a real logical guy. He's like, interesting. And so he's trying to cut back on carbs. My boss, he's trying to cut back
mm,
on carbs as well, because he's seeing my numbers just get better, you know, eating like this, and he's just blown away. Like he's like, you can obtain this level of productivity just by cutting out carbs, you know. So you know, it's affecting the people around me positively
mm.
when they see how much better I look, when they see how much more productive I am. And so that's another big reason why I started it, is because I want to help the people around me get healthy too. You know, if I can, I keep telling my wife, like, I'm making our sons carnivore one day. It's just a matter of time, you know.
Mm.
So you can keep feeding them bread and vegetables, but one day, you know, they'll probably want to, seeing me do it for years and seeing me be
Mm.
healthy. You know, children often copy their parents. So
Nice.
yeah, those are the
Wow.
benefits, man.
Wow. It's nice to hear you were able to inspire people like that.
Yeah, it's a
People can see
blessing.
your changes.
Exactly.
let me talk a little bit about your bloating. So
Hmm.
when you were still dealing with that, did you think it was normal?
Not really, honestly. I didn't think it was normal because there was just so much pressure built up in my gut area that I really thought something was wrong with me. I thought I had like pancreatic cancer or pancreatitis or IBS or something. I was like, something's not right. This can't be. I'm like, I can't. I shouldn't be feeling like this every single day. So I didn't think it was normal, which is one of the reasons why you know I started the carnivore diet. My To give you a little bit more background, why I didn't start it in 2019 is because one, I didn't have a lot of money,
Hmm.
and two, I felt mostly healthy. I wasn't very
Mm.
bloated back in 2019, but as you get older, past 25, your body starts to change. You gain a lot more weight easily. You bloat easily. The food you eat starts to affect your body even more. You're not like a kid anymore. You're not invincible. Can't just eat anything and be okay. And so, I started experiencing skin issues. My skin would be very itchy, and then I would be very bloated and just tired and gaining all this weight. So, nah, I didn't think the bloating was normal at all.
Okay. So right now you have experienced the benefits of a carnivore diet. If you could go back in
Hmm.
2019, would you wanted to have started at that time?
Yeah, I would have. I would have liked to start as early as possible. I wouldn't even mind. I would have loved to be raised carnivore because I think it might have helped me avoid a lot of the stuff that I've dealt with in my life. I caught the flu twice within the span of 6 months last year, and I'm like, my immune system is cooked. There's no way I should be catching the flu two times within 6 months. That's the same exact flu. And so, yeah, if I could have started it back in 2019 or even earlier, that would have been ideal for me.
Mm. But because many people, their excuse is just they can't afford this diet. So,
Hmm.
like you said, in 2019, you were like kind of struggling financially. So, how would you have dealt with that if you wanted to have started at that time?
Sheesh, man, that's a really good question. Uh, I guess the best thing that I could do is just eat nothing but Costco ground beef and lamb because lamb here in Japan is extremely cheap. Yeah, it's very, very cheap. It doesn't taste that good, but it's really cheap and it's better than carbs. So I eat lamb. I just would have tried to find the cheapest meat and maybe fast as well because it's easier to fast on the carnivore diet than it's easier to go from the carnivore diet to fasting than it is to go from the standard diet to fasting. I feel like I would have had a lot more headaches going from the standard diet to fasting. So to answer your question, find the cheapest meat and maybe fast a little bit more. Try to get my hunger under control. Exercise less because that'll make me hungrier, burning all those calories and burning up all my fuel. So that's what I would do.
Nice, nice. Good strategy. But I
Yeah.
guess you are also saying that this diet is actually not that expensive, right?
um I'm trying to figure that out honestly because I think my next YouTube video will be how much I spend on meat in a month here in Japan, just so I can tell other carnivores who don't live in Japan,
Mm-hmm.
how affordable or how expensive
Mm-hmm.
it is being a carnivore in Japan. Because I know it can get a little bit expensive in America to buy meat. Yeah,
Okay.
so I don't eat out anymore, really. And if I eat out, I go to like a steakhouse. So eating out is really expensive if you do it a lot. So
Okay.
maybe it's about the same as my original
Mm,
budget for food.
okay. Okay. Um, Yeah, I want to know more about how your skin improved. So did you have a lot of pimples?
Uh, it wasn't really a lot of pimples. I had something. I'm not really sure if it was psoriasis or an allergic reaction, but before I started the carnivore diet, my skin was just like itchy and breaking out everywhere. And I had like swollen eyelids. I think I had something called blepharitis, which is when like bacteria gets into your eyes and they swell really, really big. I can even send you a picture if you want to put it in this video if you want. And after I started carnivore, it honestly got worse. And I'm not sure if it got worse because, the allergic reaction or the disease was progressing, or if like oxalate dumping was also in the mix. So I don't know if oxalate dumping like accelerated it, but now my skin is getting better after a month,
Hmm.
and I use a lot less steroid cream. I'm way less itchy. My eyes, they don't swell anymore. They're still a little black, which is why I have these glasses on. They're still a little black right here, but it's getting better, even without putting on as much medication.
Well, okay. So I'll ask you a important question for scientific purposes. Do you think your like I guess yeah, do you think your sex performance has improved?
Well, if I'm being honest, since my wife is pregnant, we haven't been having very much sex, so I haven't been able to figure that out yet.
Okay, okay.
uh, but I imagine that it would because
Oh.
I have more energy. I'm not as bloated. I don't cramp very
Mm,
much. My joints would, especially my hips, around my hip area would cramp. Um, and I'm way more flexible, so I would say that I would. I'll let you know later.
okay, thank you very much for
She's
sharing.
literally about to have a baby next week, so not a
Yeah,
lot of, yeah, intercourse.
appreciate you being pretty open.
Yeah, no problem.
Wow, nice. So obviously, I guess the way you look at the world has changed pretty drastically recently. How do you feel about all this?
Yeah, man. If I had to give you, well, I'm just starting to understand a lot about just nutrition and medicine in general, and doctors and their practice in general. I got into a huge argument with one of my very, very good friends about like just metabolic health in general and cancer. And in listening to so many podcasts and like reading some studies online, you find out that cancer metabolizes glucose, which comes from eating carbohydrates. And I've seen many carnivores and even people just on the keto diet either stop their cancer cell growth or completely reverse their cancer by just cutting out carbohydrates. So I'm really starting to see the world as a place where disease is born
Mm,
from the excess intake of carbohydrates, because your body does make glucose through, I think it's called glucogenesis. So your body does use glucose, but eating all that bread, that pasta, that rice, uh cancer loves that. you know it has a lot of what they call insulin receptors. And so basically what that means, like, as soon as you eat bread, pasta, or rice, cancer is one of the first cells in your body to know that you ate that, and they're one of the first cells in your body to actively try and get the glucose so that they can grow. And the argument that I got into with my friend is that he's convinced that oncologists, the cancer doctors, if they knew this, then they would use,
mm,
you know, what would you call it? Nutritional therapy, metabolic therapy to cure cancer. But I'm like, no, they wouldn't. One, doctors go to medical school to learn medicine and practice medicine. They don't go to nutrition school. They learn about nutrition because they're doctors and they learn about the body. but they go to medical school to practice medicine. And oftentimes what they do is prescribe medicine for diseases. And I'm not convinced that an oncologist would recommend like a keto diet or a carnivore diet. Even if they did, I think that would get them in a lot of trouble with their medical boards. Like, hey, we need to sell chemotherapy. We need to sell, we're a business. We're selling medicine, and you are one of our biggest sellers. We need you to help us keep our business alive. And so I don't think it's like a big conspiracy theory. I just think that's just how it's structured. They're businesses. They sell medicine. They're not going to recommend you anything that leads to you not needing their product anymore, So that's just how I see the world now. I think there's a little bit of evil in it, maybe a lot of greed in this medicine market. But I'm not saying that it's a conspiracy that somebody thought up and then used it against us. I just think naturally somebody made medicine, they sold it, they made a lot of money, and they just made it a business, and they want to keep that business alive. So that's just how I see the world. I'm not really sure that doctors would use a lot of metabolic therapy to help heal you. I'm not convinced. You got to learn about it yourself.
Yeah, because you mentioned cancer, I want to kind of talk about what I saw recently.
Yeah.
So basically, there was a guy in Taiwan. He was like sharing on social media that he got diagnosed with cancer. And I think the whole process is just so sketchy. Like in the beginning, he looked like pretty damn healthy. He's pretty happy and stuff. And he said he was diagnosed with cancer. So of course he needed to go through all the treatment. And I feel like they try to sell you some extra services among your main treatment. So I saw that he had to freeze his sperms because maybe when he's going through his chemo, maybe his sperm will be less fertile or something. So the medical community want him to freeze his sperm.
Yes.
Yeah. And anyways, he was like pretty healthy before, but right now, as he is going through his chemo, he doesn't have his hair anymore. And obviously, he would tell people like, "Oh, can you guys cheer me on? I'm going through this process." And people will be like, "Oh, you are so inspirational and stuff." But for me, I'm like, well, like I want to. Actually, I think another interesting thing is I don't know what you are going to think about this, but I think hospitals, they really want, let's say, cancer patients to not eat any amount of raw food. They want the patients to cook their food very thoroughly. I think that's also kind of sketchy because obviously when you cook your food more, you can like damage the nutrients more. That's my perspective. Yeah, so I kind of got into a trouble by questioning it. I was like, wait, why do they want them to really damage the nutrients of foods? And then I got like roasted.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and that's pretty much it. Like also another thing is that, like I said, at least he looked pretty healthy. He looked like he had pretty good mental health. So I was like, could it be possible he was misdiagnosed? Because like people just believe whatever the doctor says.
Yeah.
That's what I have to say for this topic.
No, you make a lot of good points. Like the whole screening process in treatment for cancer is, in my opinion, very, 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 very flawed.
Oh.
Because I was listening to a podcast and I knew this, but hearing it twice in two different situations, I'm like, this has to be true. Like, it doesn't sound like a conspiracy. When you get screened for cancer, in order for the cancer to show up on the CAT scan, they make you drink something that is full of sugar. It's basically like, they call it radioactive sugar in layman's terms. And the sugar, the reason why they use sugar is because cancer reacts very, very actively to sugar. And it makes it easier for you to see on the CAT scan. I'm like, wait a second, wait a second, wait a second. Wait a second. You know that cancer is reacting to sugar. And that's why you're using it for your test. And so if you want cancer to just stop reacting and being active in the body, let's use our brains here, you know. What should you stop eating immediately? Anything that produces glucose, you know. If they're reacting to glucose, just stop. So that's when I heard the screening process for cancer, I'm like, why do doctors know this and aren't really pushing for, you know, metabolic therapy? But then I just came to the conclusion that, you know, like I said earlier, they went to medical school to practice medicine, not they didn't go to like what metabolic school to practice metabolism. So, and like you said, they try to sell you stuff as well, which I didn't think about. I had chemotherapy actually when I was a kid. It wasn't for cancer. It was for sickle cell disease, which is a different thing that you're born with. And chemotherapy can cure it. I think that might be the only cure. I haven't heard of any people with sickle cell disease that are on carnivore. But I'm curious. But yeah, man, like you said, the whole treatment is really sketchy. You know, the fact that they try to feed you in hospitals like, you know, plants and like rice or bread or extremely overcooked meats. You know, it's really feeding the cancer when you know how cancer in all cells can metabolize glucose, and cancer is no different. You know.
Do you think it was hard for you at all to go carnivore? Like, let me give you my example. Because when I first started, I didn't really know what I could eat. I didn't know which salt I should eat. I didn't know if I can eat pepper. I didn't know if I can eat dairy, stuff like that. And I guess I was also a little clueless as to where I could get my meat. So, did you deal with any of that?
Yeah, very much so. Very much so that, well, to give you a little bit more background of my story, I tried carnivore many times over the years, but this is the most committed I've ever been to the diet. I tried it back in like 2021 as well, early this year in 2025, but I just really didn't know where to get the cheapest meat in my community. And I knew that most, like, the strictest form of carnivore is to eat only animal fat, dairy, and salt. And of course, you know, the lean meat, the protein as well. And so I'm like, okay, let me just start with that. But that was a little bit too restrictive for me in the beginning because I craved other things all the time. And so my cheat meal, which is basically a keto meal, is like some chicken with some hot sauce on it, you know, because Tabasco sauce has zero carbohydrates. But you learn over time, you know. You just have to keep doing it. You're gonna fail. You might even eat some carbs one day, but as long as you keep coming back, you'll learn the cheapest places to buy meat in your community. You'll learn what your body tolerates. I recently figured out that I get tired after I eat eggs.
Oh,
So I only eat eggs at night before bed.
nice.
Yeah, because if I eat it during my lunch break, I'll get a little tired. So you'll start to see patterns, how your body reacts to certain things.
Have you found any helpful resources along the way?
Resources, I would say, yeah, like podcasts, like your podcast, other carnivore just the whole community. That's what I use as my resource, not to necessarily find like cheap meat or good advice, but to stay inspired. Because I think in the beginning, that's the most important thing, is that you stay committed. You know, even if you're eating eggs and are getting a little tired, you know, even if you have like some keto meals here and there, I would say the best resource in my opinion is the community itself,
Mm-hmm.
because they keep you focused, they keep you on track. Not encouraging that you eat this way, but just sharing their own stories. Like, I've been a carnivore for 6 months and I feel this better. I've had cancer and now the cancer's gone. So
Mm,
as long as you stay on track, I don't think you can
mhm.
really go wrong. You'll figure it out.
Nice. It's pretty similar to what you said in terms of language learning. Just keep doing what you're doing.
Exactly.
Nice.
That's the most important. Consistency.
Nice. So did you actually listen to my stuff?
Yeah, so I saw the guy, I think he was in Florida, who was eating like the raw chicken.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wonder if that was too much for you at this stage.
It wasn't too much. It just made me curious.
Oh,
Like
nice.
how
That's a
how raw
good
can I go?
mentality.
Yeah.
Mm.
I think curiosity is the mentality we all should have all the time.
Awesome. Nice. Oh, yeah, so obviously you need to like go to work. So
hmm
do you feel like it's hard to stay on track with that factor?
Well, luckily for me, I work from home,
Oh,
so I get to cook all of my meals at home. So during my lunch break, I just take some frozen ground beef that I already cooked and I put it in the microwave and I just eat some. I just eat the ground beef for lunch.
sounds
Yeah,
good.
so luckily for me, but I did have a business trip to Tokyo one time, and that was when I tried the diet earlier this year, and I just completely broke the diet because my team, they wanted to go out to, restaurants and stuff. But yeah, I decided to stop using that as an excuse because
Mm,
there's many carnivores. Like, I'm not the only carnivore that has a job and takes business trips. That's just an excuse. So,
mm, nice. Yeah, so I guess you are trying to say that even if you need to like physically go to somewhere else for a long time every day, you can still make this work, right?
yeah, it's funny. I actually asked carnivores on Reddit like what they
Oh,
do,
nice.
like the commuting carnivores that go to the office, and a lot of them they prepare their lunch. They like cook the steak or cook the ground beef and put it in like a container and then take it to work. And most offices have microwaves, and then they just heat up their carnivore lunch and eat at the office. So you know, there's ways to do it. You just have to take your own lunch. You know.
Mm, nice. You know what? So I was like teaching English,
Mhm.
and I would like bring my meals to work. So
Mhm.
I think I was like so locked in. Every day I just like, eat my own food, and whenever the coworkers invite me to maybe order some beverages with them or order meals with them, I always say, "Oh no, no, no!" I'm always like bringing my own meal. But I thought I would kind of make them think, but I think I didn't make that happen. You know.
Uh, I guess you have to be a little bit more proactive.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if the opportunity comes up, I'm definitely going to take advantage, but I don't want to like annoy them.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
hard part. Not a lot
But
of people are
you
open
know what?
minded.
I think people should think, because like I'm doing something so different. Why are you guys not thinking? Yeah, but
Exactly. Curiosity, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Let's see. So can you kind of talk about what you have been eating?
Yeah, so recently it's been mostly uh, beef and lamb with chicken, maybe once a week. I'll have some chicken, but I fast until about 11 a.m., 12 p.m., and then I have my first meal at lunchtime, which is usually ground beef.
Hmm.
Um, and I put some butter in the ground beef as well to get the extra fat. And so that's what I eat during lunch because you can just, like I said, I cook it and then I put it in containers and then I freeze it so I can just put it in the microwave and eat it. And
Hmm.
then for dinner, since I'm off work, I can cook. I usually cook steak or lamb. Occasionally, I have some chicken, but yeah, it's mostly beef, lamb. very rarely. Pork. I don't really eat a lot of pork. Pork makes me a little tired, honestly.
Oh,
I can
okay.
feel myself getting tired after I eat pork.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't give me a lot of energy. But that's just me.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, for sure. So I guess you haven't been the strictest carnivore.
No, not really. Even if like there's some meat with some seasoning on it, I
Mm,
still eat it occasionally because I don't really
okay,
think there's many
let me ask you this: what are some not super carnivore foods that you have eaten recently,
foods. Um,
or ingredients?
Ingredients. I would say like pepper, I guess. I've had some I've had some fish with some pepper on it. I had like some jerky that was, I think it might have had like a little bit of sugar in it. It had carbs in it when I looked at the nutrition label. Costco chicken, they season that a lot.
That's
And
very good.
also like it's really good, yeah. And also the Tabasco hot sauce.
Oh,
Yeah, so even though like even if I have carbs in the meat, there's no way I'm getting to like a high level of carbohydrate intake. Like I'm still losing weight even
mm,
eating like pepper and some Costco chicken and Tabasco sauce, and
mm,
my skin is still getting better. So yeah, I don't think there's a lot of carnivores that are like 100% strict unless you're like super sick, like Michaela Peterson was, and you have to eat strict. I think some carnivores color outside the lines a little bit every once in a while.
mm. Yeah, I guess it has a lot to do with your mindset.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
If
think I was more dogmatic in a way before.
I
Yeah,
really
so
so only
like
strict
I
carnivore.
like for example, recently if there's some rotisserie chicken from Costco in my household, I'll entertain that. Yeah, but
Oh,
in
you
the past,
would?
yeah, I would right now,
Okay.
but in the past I wouldn't. Yeah,
Ah, okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
stuff like that. Yeah, but I think
Yeah.
people really need to understand the reason why this kind of diet works, and you just need to focus on the, I guess, cornerstone,
Mm-hmm.
right? Just
True.
focus on. I guess you are focusing on like eating low carb, and that's already pretty effective.
It's very effective. And
Mm,
one thing I heard on a podcast is like if you need like seasoning every once in a while to help you stay on the carnivore diet,
mm,
then you should use seasoning every once in
mm,
a while, because that's when you'll get like meat aversions where you just can't stomach meat anymore. So especially in the beginning, if you need that season or hot sauce, then you know don't feel guilty about it. Just put a little bit of seasoning on it. Just
mm.
be glad that you didn't eat a whole burger or something.
Yeah, that's a good point. So I suppose you haven't been drinking dairy.
No, in the
Mm,
beginning I would put milk in my eggs to make them fluffier, but
oh,
I don't know why. I just stopped drinking dairy and using dairy. Well, I use butter, which is
sure.
considered dairy. Yeah, but I don't drink milk.
Mm, okay. And have you eaten some, aside from seasonings, have you eaten some plants recently?
I don't think so actually. Tabasco
Nice.
sauce has like the red peppers in it, so I guess I did.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just trying to understand more clearly what your diet has been looking like. Yeah, but I guess I understand now.
Yeah.
It's pretty carnivore.
Yeah, yeah. So I would
That's
consider
awesome.
myself a carnivore.
Yeah, 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 for sure. So, according to what you were sharing, I
Hmm.
guess people's response on your diet has been kind of 50-50. Some people see your changes, some people still have their previous beliefs.
Most people that are in my personal life are they're for it.
Mm,
They're very supportive. Like my mom, I was talking to her on the phone, and I'm going to the United States this winter,
Hmm.
and I said, Ma, I've been on the carnivore diet. I've been doing really, really good. And she's like, okay, well, if you need some, if you need some ground beef or eggs, like just let me know, and I'll buy anything that you want to eat, while you're here in America. And so my
Nice.
mom is supportive of it. I mean, I think any mother would be happy to see their son looking and doing better and talking about how much they feel better. So my mother-in-law, she was really worried because I lost a lot of weight. She
Well,
thought that I was getting sick or something. But I was like, no, I'm just on the carnivore diet, and yeah, she's my mother-in-law. She's still a little skeptical, but I mean, she says I look a lot better,
oh wow.
with the weight off. Because past 25, my stomach started to stick out. I was drinking a lot of beer in my early 20s, and so I got like a little bit of a beer belly, and now that's gone. So yeah, they say I look better, but my mother-in-law is a little concerned. My siblings, I have two older brothers and one older sister. We don't really talk about it that much. But
Mm.
I feel like one of my brothers would be extremely skeptical about the way. I mean, he's my brother. I know him very well.
uh,
And I've mentioned the carnivore diet before I started, and he said that can't be healthy. And
mm,
so I'm like, okay, I kind of know where he stands already. But
mm,
like I said, showing them the results is the best thing you can do.
yeah, yeah. Good
He
point.
doesn't have to become a carnivore. He just, I just rather people don't look at it as the worst health decision you can make in your life, and
Good point.
acknowledge the benefits. Yeah.
What was your expectation like before you went carnival? Did you feel like, oh, I'm bound to become healthier?
Yeah, I was actually pretty convinced.
Nice.
I was actually pretty convinced that I'd become healthier. And I was like waiting for the benefits,
Oh
from day
wow,
one. I'm
that's
like, here,
cool.
here it comes. So I'm like, something has to get better. I know that one, I know that I can tolerate more meat and animal fat than the average person because when like the yakiniku here in Japan, the little grills, the barbecues they have here in Japan. Like I went
Mm.
there with my brother-in-law one time, and he ate a little bit too much fat, and he got really bad diarrhea, and I was completely fine.
Mm.
So I'm like, okay, I think I can tolerate animal fat a little more than the average person. So I knew I wasn't going to get sick on the diet. I'm like,
Oh
I'm not going to get sick.
wow.
And I was like, and eating all this sugar and eating all these carbs, it can't be healthier than eating some steak. And
Mm.
I could logically I couldn't convince myself that it's unhealthy. You know,
Wow, nice. I think when I first went into carnivore, I didn't
hmm.
have expectations.
Really?
It's just right after, because I think I went carnivore right after I thought it kind of made sense. It would be safe
Hmm.
to do it. That's
Hmm.
basically because I found out about the benefits. I thought I learned that it could be potentially good for your eye health, but at the same time,
Mm.
I thought it's dangerous. Yeah, because growing up, people tell me you shouldn't eat too much meat. You should uh, not eating vegetables. You will get constipated. All that. Yeah,
Yeah.
so I need to do further research to make myself feel more convinced, more safe about this diet. And when I start to realize, oh, okay, maybe I'm not going to explode or something by eating this way, I decided to go for it because at the time I really wanted to, I guess, improve my eye health. Yeah,
Hmm.
but anyways,
That's really interesting. You make a really good point, like about researching. I think my goal ultimately is to not like push the carnivore diet or the keto diet. My goal is to empower people to think more about their health,
mm.
because I think I might make a video one day when I'm in America. I'm just gonna ask people, all right, so what is a vitamin? And then just
Oh, perfect! Wow, I like
like,
this
all right,
question.
what does vitamin A do? So what does the pancreas do? because I didn't know any of
Crooked
this
church.
stuff. It's exactly. Like I didn't. I asked my wife the other day. I was like, "Do you know what vitamin A does?" She said, "No." I'm like, "I don't either. Like, why don't we know this? You know, why don't we know the basics of metabolism? You know." So I just want to empower people to think a little bit more about like their body. You live in your own body. You eat 3 times a day, but you don't even know what eating is, you know? You don't know how you don't know how your body reacts when you eat stuff. You don't know that your pancreas produces insulin to help you, you know, get the glucose into your cells and they metabolize it to grow. Most people don't know that. You know, they don't people don't know what a ketone is or you know, that they should be in ketosis at least once a day, you know, and be in ketosis when they wake up, you know, in the morning if you're on a standard diet, at least. So I'm not trying to convince people to get on the carnivore diet. I'm trying to convince people to do what you did, which is research. You know, figure it out for yourself. You know, learn your body. So that's my
Okay,
goal.
nice. Let me turn on my AC real quick.
Yeah. Oh, it's still pretty hot there.
Yeah, it's a little hot. Well, yeah. Did you deal with any cravings in the beginning of your, or maybe even now?
Yeah, I still get cravings. I love ice cream
Oh.
and I love McDonald's. Of course, I want the least healthiest foods. You know, there's a lot of snacks here in Japan that are really cheap and delicious. Like I love muffins. I used to eat muffins like every day. I used to make coffee, like grind my own beans and make coffee every single day. Um, I was thinking about making a video about foods that I miss,
Oh,
but
nice.
I would feel really guilty if that would cause people to crave something
Oh.
after. I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about it. Um, but yeah, I still get cravings. It's like this, man. It's like this. Like some days I'm fine. Some days I'm like I really want to eat some ice cream, but I haven't cracked yet.
Uh-huh, uh-huh. Nice. Hmm. According to my experience,
hmm
your environment plays a very big role. If you are exposed to the foods that can tempt you, there is a much higher chance you will give into that.
100%. I'm a
Mm.
Christian, and the Bible says you have to flee from temptation. Like just run away from temptation. And I think
Nice.
that's good. Like people try to like bear the like I'm gonna mentally get through this. I'm like no, just run away. Just run. Like you know, don't be in that environment.
Mm. So, what are your thoughts on, let's say, what your wife is eating now and what the people around you is eating now?
I'm very much against what my wife is eating now. If I could be honest, because you know pregnant women they get like a free pass to eat whatever they want. You know,
Mm.
nobody really bats an eye at what a pregnant woman is eating unless as long as you're not smoking cigarettes and drinking alcohol. Like nobody cares. But I'm like, you know, there are certain things that she and I actually got into a huge argument about
Mm-hmm.
this. Like, you know, I was like, you won't let our son eat potato chips, but you're pregnant and you're eating potato chips all the time. Like that's what the baby's eating in your stomach. I was like, it doesn't make sense. You don't want our son that's out here eating, but you don't mind eating potato chips and letting it go into our son's, you know, embryo or whatever. And I'm like, you just think about that. He's eating what you're eating. And so I'm not trying to come at my wife or anything. A lot of pregnant people eat like this, you know. They just eat whatever they want. And I'm just trying to, you know, come at the culture of we shouldn't be giving pregnant women a pass to eat whatever they want. I don't really say anything about what she eats at all anymore. But I'll give her credit. She has been eating a lot more meat because I've been
Oh.
eating a lot more meat, you know.
Wow, that's such an important message.
Yes, it is.
So, do you think your current son, he has been healthy?
Yeah, you know, most kids are healthy,
Uh,
even regardless of eating carbs and vegetables and just anything that they want. You know, kids have a very high metabolism, and they can metabolize anything that you give them. So he's been really healthy. He's not overweight. He's really muscular.
mm, mm,
Uh, he runs a lot. He sleeps really well. So I would say he's healthy. But I feel like if I'm a carnivore for years, by the time he's like in middle school and playing sports, maybe he'll want to, you know, up his sports performance. So, you know,
mm,
he could copy what I'm eating, you know. So,
mm,
but
mm,
for
mm.
right now to answer your question, he is healthy. There's nothing
Sounds
wrong
good.
with him.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, it's interesting you mentioned. I guess at least in your culture or in in Japanese culture, pregnant women can eat whatever they want, but people don't want them to be drinking alcohol and smoke. But like, if you care about that, you should also care about what they are putting in their body when it comes to
Exactly.
food. Yeah, that's like
Yeah,
cognitive dissonance.
exactly. Because you
Oh,
know, a lot of women. I don't want to say a lot of women because I don't know the numbers, but you know, there is such a thing as I think it's called gestational
mm,
diabetes, where you know your insulin isn't really carrying the glucose to your cells while you're pregnant. My mom had it when she was pregnant with me. She had gestational diabetes, and then later on she became a type 2 diabetic. So yeah, guys, pregnant women are very vulnerable metabolic metabolically.
mm,
So
mm, mm.
I think we should be very much caring about. I think doctors care most about like their weight more than like
Mm,
their metabolic health. Yeah.
mm,
So
mm,
yeah.
mm. Yeah, because we are already talking about this. I feel like some people they are born not very um developed, for lack of
Mm-hmm.
a better word. Like they are kind of physically challenged
Mm.
or like deformed,
Yeah.
or they are not as intelligent as a normal person.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I personally think it has a lot to do with like their prenatal nutrition or something, like when
Mm.
they were still in the womb or when they were growing up. Yeah, but you know what? I often see this kind of individual. They are selling junk food as their way of living, and I'm like, oh, so backward.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of junk food in circulation, and it's very very tempting, especially to pregnant women because they get all types of cravings, you know.
Hmm.
But yeah, you make a very good point about the whole prenatal nutrition.
Do you know any in real life carnivores in Japan?
No, not personally. There's one that I follow on Instagram. I don't think she's like strict carnivore, but yeah, she eats mostly meat, and that's her theme of her Instagram account
And she's
is that
located
she
in Japan.
yeah yeah yeah.
Oh,
I forgot her name. It's like Hasegawa something. I'll send it
oh,
to you later on
yeah.
Instagram. But I don't know if she speaks English.
Oh,
Uh,
wow,
I don't think she does, but yeah,
wow,
not
interesting.
not personally.
How did you find out about her?
I was just curious to see if there's any carnivores in Japan. Like I just searched carnivore diet in Japanese on Google, and she came
Oh,
she came up.
nice, awesome.
So I was like, oh, this is pretty cool.
Yeah, I have definitely seen a couple local Japanese that seem to be promoting this type of diet. Yeah.
Yes, I saw like I think he's actually biracial, Japanese American. I don't know, but there's this guy on YouTube who is Japanese, and he very strongly claimed that steak is the healthiest thing that you could possibly eat as a human.
Is he trying
Yeah.
to talk to Japanese people?
Yeah, he did the whole video in Japanese. So,
Wow, I wonder how
and
the response has been.
people in the comments were really, really accepting of that idea. Like they're
Oh,
like, "Oh,
really?
this hearing something like this is very refreshing," you know.
Oh,
So,
nice. Wow.
I think I really another thing is if I could, I guess one of my goals is to spread the carnivore diet, but I would really like Japanese people. to at least consider it, put it on the Japanese radar, because the
Awesome.
population is dropping, and there are people dealing with like infertility, and all those hormones, like pregnancy hormones, and even just like not just pregnancy hormones, but like creating sperm and maintaining healthy eggs. They need hormones to do that, testosterone, for men to produce healthy sperm. And, I don't really know the hormones you need for pregnancy, but I know that all hormones do synthesize with animal fat. And so maybe people who are dealing with infertility here in Japan could eat more meat, get that animal fat, and get their hormones up, and have more babies. Because the people who want babies are having a hard time having them sometimes here in Japan, which is also contributing to the population drop. And just people, diabetes. People have diabetes here in Japan. Japanese people are viewed as very healthy, but you do see overweight Japanese people with diabetes. Of course, cancer exists in all parts of the world, unfortunately. Infertility, all that stuff. So, and just depression, man, like depression. Japanese people do deal with depression, and we all know that depression isn't a disease. It's a symptom of most likely some inflammation somewhere. So yeah, if I guess that is one of my other goals, is to spread the carnivore diet, or just get people to think about how healthy meat and animal fat is.
Yeah, that's so awesome. Honestly, I think everyone will benefit from this diet, given that no one's eating close to optimally.
True.
Yeah, I
I
think like
have.
so many students, they have teeth issues and yeah, like you said, mental issues and skin issues. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that your skin got better on the carnivore diet.
You mean me?
Yeah, yeah, on your
Oh yeah,
Instagram
yeah,
page. Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
My skin wasn't even that bad. Like some people, their skin's like actually pretty bad.
yeah. Very
And I
oily.
luckily I didn't wear braces before, but many people have. Yeah.
Yeah, the if you look at like all the skeletons that you find of people in the past, they have like straight white teeth. You know, it's probably like the food they were eating was harder, and so it made like for a stronger jaw. And, they probably weren't eating a lot of carbs and sugar, so their teeth weren't rotting and falling out of their head, and they were all straight and white. And so, yeah, it's like dental health, dental hygiene is that's very, very modern to think about
Yeah.
your dental hygiene.
Yeah. It also has a big correlation with money, I feel like.
Oh, really?
I mean like I mean like it's a big industry
Yeah,
trying to fix
dental
people's
hygiene.
teeth.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. I even want to get my teeth fixed, sometime
Oh.
in the future. Yeah, I do have a little bit of a crooked tooth right here, and
Really?
yeah, I had a lot of
Uh,
cavities and stuff.
Do you still have all your teeth?
um, no, I don't. I have a few like synthetic teeth,
Oh.
and I had the wisdom teeth, three wisdom teeth pulled out.
Mm.
But yeah, like just a few in the back
Mm-mm.
are like fake.
Oh.
Yeah.
Have you thought about this? Like after you went carnivore, do you feel like, I wonder what would have happened?
I do. I do wonder what would have happened with my dental hygiene, I'm convinced that I wouldn't have cavities like I had. Yeah. It's funny, like for the first time in my life when I went to the dentist after eating a carnivore diet, they looked at my teeth and said, "Okay, nothing's wrong."
Mm.
That was like one of the first times in my life, like ever. Like they'll be like, "Okay, they'll be like, oh, you still have some plaque here." Like, "Oh, I can see like if you don't pay extra care to this tooth, you might get a cavity." They would always say something like that. But for the first time ever after I started carnivore, they just looked at my teeth and said, "Okay, all good." So I don't think
Oh,
that's a
awesome.
coincidence.
No. Awesome. Little random question. What are your thoughts on having a daughter?
Daughter?
Mm.
I've always wanted a daughter. To be
Mm.
honest, like I would have been okay if I had like three daughters and no sons.
What?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. There's just a special bond that I see fathers have with their daughters that I've always wanted to experience. But now that I have two sons, like, I love having a son. Like he's
Nice.
hilarious. Yeah,
Wow, awesome.
he's keeping me active. So. But yeah, why did you ask that question? I'm
Oh,
interested.
I was just curious, honestly,
I just
because like
yeah
because you, I guess you only have sons now, so I
yeah
just
only
wonder what you think about having a daughter. Yeah.
I hope our next baby's a daughter,
Oh.
but I hope we're gonna keep having children. But
Mm.
if I get like three or four sons, then I'll still be happy.
Oh yeah, awesome, nice. um, I guess do you try to speak English to your son? I suppose you want
Yeah,
them to be like able to speak two languages or more, right?
yeah. I only speak English with my
Oh
son.
wow,
Very,
based.
very rarely do I speak Japanese. Very rarely. But yeah,
Wow.
it's mostly English, and he speaks English too, and Japanese.
Oh, he can already speak languages now.
Yeah, he says like words here and there.
Wow.
So like, and he'll switch what he says based on the person
Oh
he's talking to.
wow.
So he'll say like "dakko" to my wife, which means like pick me up, and then he'll be
Mm.
like up, up. He'll say that to
What?
me. Yeah. So
Wow.
he's
So
and
cool.
he'll if he wants you to open something, he'll say like open to me, but he'll say like akete to like my wife.
Wow.
So kids they pick up on like okay, mommy says it this way,
Mm.
daddy says it this way. They don't know that there's two languages going on, but
Yeah, you're
yeah,
right. That's a good point.
it's really
Wow.
interesting to see a bilingual kid.
Nice. Especially you are like you have language learning background. You have more like you are better at observing this, I guess.
Yeah, that's where a lot of parents fail. Like a lot of
Mm.
international couples fail is because they don't know how language learning works. So a lot of international kids here in Japan only speak Japanese.
Oh.
And I'm like, I don't want my son to just
Mm.
speak Japanese. you know?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you need to make him more OP. So you need to.
exactly. Exactly. And if I
That's
have
funny.
to if I if I have to spend extra money to
Mm.
put him in an international school where he can speak English every day, then I will. Like if I
Mm.
notice that
Mm.
because here's what happens a lot. As soon as the kids start school, they stop
Mm.
speaking the
Mm.
foreign parents' language
Mm.
immediately because all the kids are speaking Japanese. Like my friend, he's a Korean that lives in Japan, and he said up until about kindergarten, his kids would speak Korean at home, but as soon as they
Mm.
started going to school, it was only Japanese.
Wow.
So
Wow. Yeah,
yeah,
definitely need to be careful.
yeah. So if that happens with my son, if I notice that he's speaking a little bit too much Japanese and I don't really hear a lot of English, then I'm just gonna put him in an international
Mm.
school.
Wow. I feel like
Yeah,
this topic can have a lot of discussions. Like
it
this is a
can.
deep topic.
It
Mm.
really is. There's a lot you can talk about with international kids and language.
Nice, interesting, awesome. Mm. Yes, I think we're coming to an end. So let me just
hmm
cover a bit more questions. Have you run other social media accounts before?
Other social media accounts, I've had a lot for
Oh.
like different things that I've wanted to do. Like I had one where I just took pictures and pretended that they could be like album covers. That's like a weird thing that I was doing because I'm like anything. I just looked around one day. I'm like anything could be an album cover
Mm.
if you
Mm.
just put like a little label at the bottom
Mm.
right. So I did that for fun. I didn't continue it. There's a weird Instagram account that I have that's only bathroom signs.
Mm.
It's
Mm. Mm.
like
Oh.
there are a lot of interesting bathroom signs here in Japan. Like there'll be like a dinosaur with a bow tie for like the male bathroom, and then a dinosaur with like a bow in her hair for like the women's bathroom. And I thought that was really cute, so I made an Instagram page about that. And that's really about it. I
Mm.
haven't really made an account for like dedicated carnivore stuff, except for like my YouTube channel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure, sure, sure. Okay. Yeah, I guess you just like sharing.
Yeah, I do, and I just want to put myself out there more,
Yeah, yeah.
just to see what happens.
Uh-huh. Nice, nice. Do you think it's challenging at all?
Yeah, it's challenging, and I think the most challenges come from self doubt.
Mm-hmm.
Like nobody nobody feels good when they're attacked online. Like even if you have a very strong mental, you're gonna feel at least a little bad when you read a bad comment or get some bad reactions. And I'm a human like everybody else, and I have emotions and I get sad,
Mm-hmm.
and I would prefer to have a friendly relationship with everybody. But you really have to be prepared for hate and scrutiny when you put yourself online. So that's really the biggest challenges coming out of my shell, being more daring and aggressive on social media.
So I guess you have some personal experiences around that.
Yeah,
Do you?
like being in a international relationship for like almost 10 years. Like my wife, she has like maybe 1,000, a little bit over 1,000 followers on Instagram. And so people will like leave comments like,
Mm-hmm.
why would you date a black guy, or like,
Wow.
your baby's gonna have a terrible life because, he's biracial, or, she just ruined her family lineage by having a baby with this black man. So, we get some hateful comments on the posts that my wife posts. And that does make me upset.
Mm.
Um, which is why I don't really look at social media
Oh.
very much. I don't. I'm not convinced that it's good for your mental health. So yeah, this I have dealt with like online hate or just like rude people in the past, and given the choice between dealing with it and not dealing with it, I'd rather not deal with it. But
Mm-hmm.
I have to prepare for it if I'm gonna keep doing like YouTube and put myself online. So it's all
Mm-hmm.
about preparation, preparing your heart, preparing your mind. Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Wow.
or
That's
just
a
doing it.
little. That's a little upsetting that you said that.
Yeah, it's upsetting, but it just convinces me more that children shouldn't be on social media. You know
Oh, but
that.
I
Mhm.
like the fact that it seems like you have a lot of wisdom to deal with this kind of bad humans. You know.
Yeah, just stay away from it. I think living in the real world is the best thing you can do.
Oh yeah.
I try to spend time with people. Even this is better than just scrolling on Instagram or TikTok. Because even though we're not in person, we're still two people communicating with each other. So I think getting sunlight, having healthy relationships, and spending as much time with real people as opposed to being on social media is the best thing you can do
Mhm.
for your mental health.
Nice. Yeah, I think the timing that you started your channel was kind of early. You were only into your journey not long, and then you were like you had the motivation to start. Is there
Hmm.
any specific reasons?
Yeah, I just want to keep a document on,
Mm.
how far I've come. Because if I have a video, I can see my face, like if I got slimmer or if my skin got clearer, and then the other people can see it too. Like I can be like, go look at my early YouTube videos. Like
Wow.
my skin was not looking that good. My eyes weren't, they were really swollen, and I had a little bit of pudge on my face. So it can remind me of how far I come and that I shouldn't go back. And it can, be evidence for other people. Like, okay, his skin does look better. He's talking smoother. He just looks healthier. Just to keep a document.
Wow. That's
Yeah,
very smart of you. And I think it's very worth it. I wish
it
I
is.
did the same.
I really. So how
Yeah.
long in your journey did you wait until you started doing your social media?
Yeah, that's a good question. So I think I started to post more seriously beginning
Mhm.
of last year, 2024.
Okay.
Yeah, but like or like at the end of 2023. But I went carnivore in April 2022. So
Okay.
I definitely waited for too long. You know what? When I started to realize the power of this diet, I already
Hmm.
wanted to post, but I was like hesitant. But
Yeah.
as time went on, I just know I knew that I would regret it so much if I see someone else start to talk about this before me. Yeah, because in Taiwan, no one's really talking about this, and I want to be the kind of like a pioneer. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm glad that I still was kind of a pioneer because still no one is really trying to talk about this. Yeah, but I still wish that I started earlier
Well,
so
I'm
that I
really.
can document my journey in a more detailed way.
Mm, well, I'm
Yeah.
really happy to see that you're doing this because it really makes me happy to see that there are people in other countries, trying to get people to think about their metabolic health and eat, more meat and animal fat and all that stuff. And I'm a little bit hesitant being a pioneer for that in Japan because I think it'd be really easy for Japanese people to be like, "Oh, this is just like some foreign stuff. Like this is just some crazy Western diet," you know. And so it would be more. I would gain more trust if I could get a Japanese person to talk about it, than just me
Mm,
talking about it. Maybe they'll trust me more because I speak Japanese
mm,
fluently,
mm, mm, mm.
but I'm not really sure. We'll see what happens.
Well, is your son upset?
He's very upset. You can hear
Oh,
him. Yeah.
but how do you feel about that?
My wife, she's with him.
Oh,
He'll be
okay,
fine.
okay,
Yeah.
sounds good, sounds good.
Yeah.
I guess he's craving some steak.
I hope so. I'll give him all the steak. When my
Nice.
wife is in the hospital with him and it's just me and him in the house, he's going to be eating mostly meat. He
Oh,
love when I give him like steak and ground beef and eggs, he loves it. Absolutely
mm,
loves it. Yeah.
nice. Yeah,
So
I'm
we'll
not
see what happens with
surprised.
that. Yeah,
Awesome.
it's his instinct. Yeah.
Right. Well, yeah, but I guess I don't know if you can get your wife become a carnivore. I think that can make a very convincing case. You
Yeah.
know, like people because I guess you were kind of saying that you look like a foreigner, so people won't
Yeah.
take you that seriously. But I guess if you are making videos with your wife, that can make it more convincing. I don't
Yeah.
know.
I think it would make it more convincing. I can already see comments where like people think that I'm making my wife do some crazy diet and that, I'm probably an abusive husband. I can just see that coming already. Like, oh, this scary 6 foot black foreign guy is making his wife eat only meat. But uh that might be rare. Who knows? I really want my wife to try this because she's had two babies in the past three
Uh,
years, and she's gained, according to her, some weight that she wants to lose. And I'm like, well, you saw me lose all this weight on like in just a month, and even when I stopped exercising because my muscle got injured, I was still losing weight after like quitting exercise. And so I'm like, if you want to do this, then you can try it for a month and see how it feels. She also has migraines. She gets really bad headaches, and I've heard a lot of keto and carnivores talk about how their headaches go away, their migraines go away when they take out carbs. So yeah, I really want her to try so that I can document it and make a YouTube video about it. Maybe spread it to Japan and get it to the people who really need it. There are really sick
yeah,
people here in
yeah,
Japan.
yeah.
You know,
Awesome.
they don't really show it, but they exist here in Japan too.
Nice. Well, I like your cause, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah,
Awesome.
man.
I think it's such a kind of a no-brainer that you eat
Hmm.
this kind of diet because like you will feel happier and you will look better and people will feel happier, you know.
Exactly. Yeah, my relationships and my interactions with people has gotten a lot better eating like this. I feel way less anxiety. So much so that it's funny. This week, one of my engineers at my IT job, he asked like, "All right, everybody, what's your stress level on a scale of 1 to 9?" And I was the
Mm-hmm.
lowest. Like, like I was like maybe like 3. Like, and then people were like 5 and like 7, and I'm like, you guys are this. I didn't know that you guys were stressed out like this, you know. But yeah, mine was like the lowest on the
uh,
the survey.
nice. That's the power of steak.
Exactly. Not a lot of anxiety.
Nice. Have you thought about what kind of? Yeah, I guess you have talked about that a lot, but yeah, I can still ask you this. So, what kind of content do you plan on making?
Yeah, so I feel like giving carnivore updates would be really boring after a while for me and the viewers. So I just want to explain, like I said, I want to empower people to think about their bodies and metabolism and what eating is. So I might make a video as simple as like, what is a vitamin? You know, what
Mm,
does vitamin A do? What does vitamin B do? What does vitamin D do? You know, just like what is cholesterol? And I know I'm going to get comments like, "Oh, you're not a doctor, you're not a nutritionalist," but I'm like, "Yes, but I eat every day, and you eat every day. We should know what is happening when we eat. You know, like just because these doctors went to medical school and have their doctorate degree, it doesn't make them like some higher form of existence and knowledge. They're not. They're humans, just like you and me. They can read just like you and me. They can learn just
yeah.
like you and me. So stop saying like I have to have a doctorate degree to talk about metabolism or health or the human body. I don't. Like I'm a human just like every other doctor in the world. You should learn about your health too. So I think I might make videos as simple as that, like what is insulin, stuff like that, just to learn myself and to empower people to just figure it out. Know what your body does when you
Mm,
eat, you know?
nice. Yeah, I think what you said made a lot of sense. Like, as far as doctors are just dudes and chicks, but
Exactly.
people will still want to disagree with you. You know
Exactly.
what?
Exactly. Yeah, their degree didn't give them superpowers.
Yeah. So, because obviously, I don't know, you actually discovered cornrow maybe earlier than me. But one of my question was, do you
Hmm.
have any questions about how to do a carnivore diet? Maybe I can answer that.
Yeah, well, I would say, make sure you're eating enough fat, but not too much fat.
Oh,
Because
I mean, like, do you yourself have questions
oh,
that you want
sorry,
to ask?
I thought you said cautions. Sorry. I
Oh,
know.
no, no.
Questions? Questions about the carnivore diet. Yeah, so I mean seeing your content, like how raw do you eat your meat? You just eat a lot of that's just
I,
my question to you.
that's a good question. Nice. Yeah, I mean, for me, I kind of just play around with it. I don't
Uh-huh.
treat it very. I don't feel like, oh, this is so healthy, so I need to like really focus on eating that. So I still eat cooked meat, but
Hmm.
I'm not like afraid of eating raw meat because seeing other people do that and trying it myself and hearing some other theories, so I'm
Hmm.
not like super afraid of it. But
Yeah.
I think cooked meat tastes pretty good, and it can be easier to chew in many cases.
Mm.
So yeah, let's see. I think yesterday I only ate cooked meat.
Hmm.
Yeah, it just depends on my mood. Sometimes I kind of crave
Yeah.
raw meat. That's
Yeah.
that's pretty much. I don't because there are some people that are like they only eat raw meat and they
Hmm.
think it's stupid to cook meat. I'm not extreme like that. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Well, that's interesting because I never knew of the possibility until I saw
yeah.
you. Like
Oh,
seriously, you and like I guess what's her name? Steak and Butter Girl,
uh,
Steak and Butter Gal, I guess is her name. But yeah, I'm like, wow, people are out here eating raw meat, and
oh,
I know Liver King claimed to eat
uh,
raw meat. I'm not really sure. He lied to us about the steroids, so I'm not really sure about the raw meat thing. But I guess it also adds variety to your diet too. Sometimes you can enjoy
yeah,
raw
yeah, yeah,
meat,
yeah.
sometimes you can enjoy cooked meat with some salt on it. So
a pretty big thing about eating things raw is that the convenience. Like you don't need to. You can just bring it with you. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, and you don't really
Wow.
need to clean dishes. But um, I think given that you have a wife now and stuff,
Yeah.
like you need to think about it if you want to be one extra step different from our society. you know,
Yeah.
it can
It's
cause some issues.
it can. It can. You know, school. My sons will go to school one day.
Mm.
And I told my wife, like, I don't care if they eat, like, you know, cake or ice cream when they're not at
Oh.
home. I just don't want to be the person that gives it to them,
Mm,
you know?
mm, mm.
I don't want to be, I don't want to contribute to any metabolic issues that they could have in the future as their father. So I'm like, I don't care if they go to a friend's house or go to church and they eat some cake, cookies, you know, drink some juice. I'm just not going to be the one giving it to them, you know?
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. Are there some me-based style content creators you like?
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot. I like all the famous doctors like Dr. Kim Berry, Sean Baker. I like Carrie Mann. He's kind of
Oh,
like
nice.
you, where he interviews a lot of carnivores. I like Steak and Butter Gal. She's she's just a really really refreshing presence because she's been on the carnivore diet for so long, and she gives such clear advice, and she's like, you know, living it. She even helped her father cure his cancer by asking him to cut out carbs. So she's wonderful. Who else do I watch?
Mhm.
There's a guy who's not a carnivore, but he's keto. His name is Nick Norwitz, Dr. Nick Norwitz.
Oh,
He's the one who did the study on on how Oreo cookies can lower I think it's cholesterol better than statins can.
mm-hmm.
It that's just a hilarious study. He does like experiments with his own body,
Mm-hmm.
and he went to, like, you know, Harvard University, a very prestigious university, and so he's a doctor, so people trust him, and so it's just funny to see a doctor do these experiments on their own body. But yeah, like if anybody's pushing carnivore with good faith, then I always listen to podcasts to keep
Nice.
myself on track. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Well, I like the fact that you mentioned this. I wasn't really aware that this kind of conversation can have this kind of value.
Oh really?
Yeah,
Well,
like
I'm glad I could help.
keeping people on track. That's interesting.
Yeah. That's honestly the most important thing for me.
Mm-hmm.
For me.
Nice. So I always ask my guests this question. I want to
Hmm.
know if they have any recommendations as far as who should I interview in the future. So do you have any thoughts? You
Yeah.
can give me some cool recommendations.
I mean, that's a good question. I don't There's this one guy that I follow on YouTube. I feel like he would be really interested in being interviewed by you. Give me a second.
Nice. So he's a carnivore?
Yeah, he's been on the carnivore diet for over 100 days now. So
Oh, wow.
he's farther in it than I am.
Nice.
I also have a friend who has a friend. I don't know who he is, but my friend, when I told him I'm on the carnivore diet, he said, "Oh, I have another friend that's on the carnivore diet. He was
Oh,
really really fat, and now he's lost a
mm-mm-mm.
lot of weight."
Wow.
So I can ask that friend if he'd be interested. Let me
Sounds
see.
interesting.
Yeah, people love the weight loss. The weight loss topics.
Yeah, you can
So,
also
oh,
send me that. Oh, you found it?
yeah, his name is Meet with Matt on YouTube. He does
Oh,
like
wow.
a YouTube short every day about
Nice,
his
nice.
carnivore diet. He's really funny,
Oh, me
really really
that.
social.
Wow,
You can tell that he's
interesting.
very vibrant. I think you like
Nice.
him.
Wow, wow. I
Yeah. So
like
I'll
this
send.
kind of recommendation. Like
Yeah.
people that are have a smaller following, I guess.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because
Yeah. He's.
I just want to, I guess, kind of get to know more people like that.
Yeah. I think I might copy you and start interviewing people uh,
Feel
on
free
my
to
own
interview
channel.
me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You might be the first one I interview because
Oh, okay.
I wanted to
That's
ask
funny.
you a lot of questions too,
Oh,
but
okay.
I'm like, okay,
Sounds good.
let me just be the guest today.
Yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure. Yeah. Okay, that's awesome. So this is the second to last question.
Mhm.
So Caleb, what are your goals?
My goal is to have completely like clear skin, better dental hygiene as far as the carnivore diet is concerned. As far as life is concerned, I just want to love people,
Wow.
spread love. Like I said, I'm a Christian. That's what Jesus wants us to do, is to love people and to, bring people to Christ. So if I can just love people, raise kids that love people, then my job is done.
Nice. So this is our last question. What do you think becoming a parent taught you?
Oh man. Oh, sorry, my light went out. It's all good. I think becoming a parent taught me patience, because you have to be extremely patient with a child, especially since you can't verbally communicate with them.
Mm,
And it also taught me like I have to be very intentional about the way that I parent. People just have babies and they just try to like keep them alive, you know. But I'm like, there's a lot of opportunity in having a child. And so, like I said, I want to love my sons so much that when they get older, they start loving the people around them.
wow.
That's my goal as a parent. And so, being a parent, like I said, patience, and that I have to be very intentional. I have to have a goal in parenting. What is the goal? Like, why did I have children? You know? And so, it's to spread love.
Awesome. Yeah. So Caleb, thank you so much for doing this interview with me.
Hey, man, thank you. This is my first carnivore interview, and it was really, really fun. And I was extremely happy to be up here. And who knows, we might talk again in
Mm.
the future on your
Yeah.
channel again, or maybe on my channel. Who knows?
Awesome. Yeah. I'm happy that your son, he has a very good dad, I feel like.
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. This conversation was pretty enjoyable.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun.
Yeah. So for those that are listening, you already know what you need to do. Go check out all my previous interviews if you like
Yes,
this kind of conversation. As you can tell, your boy asks pretty good questions. So
yes,
you can find
yes,
other good questions in my other interviews. All right, guys. With that said,
yes.
peace out, guys.
Peace.
Remember to go follow Caleb. Go check him out.
Yes, Carnivore Caleb.
Awesome.